Hello, welcome back. I'm back. Lunch has been completed, and we're back to do some more Phoenix Wright. Trials and Tribulations. So we've just got to hold Luke at me out of his trial because we're finally piecing this together, and hopefully we're gonna be able to prove that the wife is involved now. That's the dream. Let's see. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy. Oh, Mr. Light. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. It wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. Yeah, the motive is curious. It's something to do with that list. But I'm not exactly sure what. I mean, why would Detective Atby want to kill Kane Bullard? It's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. It's got to happen sooner rather than later. Now then, Miss Court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. Ah ha ha. The red diamond, that's what that is. Okay. So... So Kane wanted 50 grand. Or he would reveal who Atme... Well, who Master Mask was. But I guess he didn't know Atme was the real killer? Or was the blackmail sent to Atme and he just, sent it on to Ron to use him as the patsy? Does it have anything to do with the list as well? Can we check the list as well? That doesn't tell us much, does it? Takes the red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. You continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask. Of course. Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 AM, Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? A one without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. All right, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder, speak. Where all is. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. But look at his chin. We also, again, like, it's so obvious that he's not the guy in the Master Mask costume. Look at the cleft that Master Mask clearly doesn't have. Like, I should have been able to point that out on day fucking 1. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. Oh, I guess you can't quite see the chin. Okay. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. How incredibly convenient. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now is all part of his plan. And there has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in 2 places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Hold it! Fortunately, Mr. Atme, we start to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. By it, I mean holes. Oh, we didn't even get a life refill. Fuck off. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Okay, we've already read this shit. We know what he's saying. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. The man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I am called Mask the Mask. Conveniently, that also means there is no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Objection! Are you saying that this is not in fact Luke Atme? That he could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi? It's fucking exactly what I'm saying. Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? If Luke Atme was at KB Security during the murder, then the Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice. Now remember, you said that, Mr. Wright, because there's no going back. If you're making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. That penalty is probably boiling hot too. Who is it, Mr. Wright? Who was the accomplice? Now, my gut is to immediately point to the wife. However, I've started having suspicions about Adrian. Is the wife too much of a red herring? She's literally wearing red. And I can't think of any specific reason why she's involved. But Adrian backed up Atme's thing about being concealed at the crime scene, which we know is false. That was just bollocks, because he was just Master Mask. And she was the one that hired him. But I don't understand why she would be helping him. mouth doesn't tell us much, does it? I've had so much suspicion on the wife the whole way. Why? Plus the bike. The bike feels important. It's gotta be her, right? Is there any way it couldn't be the wife? Is there any obvious... Oh, man. Look, we have a save. We're gonna have to... Well, let's just test it. Is there any world in which it's her? No, it wasn't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just let me fucking reload. Stop wasting my time. Okay, we had to check. Right. Let's get back to where we were. Let's get the full alibi. Right, let's save here. And then we can come back to this if we need to.
Objection!
I guess we should have stuck to our guns the whole time and just gone straight for the wife. Do we just not have enough evidence? So maybe instead of name that person, we drop it? I guess we don't have the proof yet. Okay, let's just do what we were doing anyway. Hold on. Maybe it's important to raise the question at the very least. There really was an accomplice, but right now I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. I mean, I have a fucking idea. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. Okay. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. I believe Agent Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling cards at Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Acme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? The aim was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it. He'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. Yeah, that's true. It is kind of odd. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. By photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. Objection! He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad, blue melody. I think I better gather more info for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. Yeah, the box, but I don't know how to prove it. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor. Oh. What if we've been thinking about this wrong? What if it is him dressed as Master Mask and the photo was altered? All this time the game's been telling us the photo cannot be altered, but of course it could. Adrian could alter it. What if it is Adrian? And the wife actually has been innocent this whole time? I just don't know why she would. Like, what's her motive? The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Fortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. So you keep saying, but what if it could? I see. This is the problem. Sometimes the game states something to you as like hard fact, like, you know, kind of meta fact that like it could not have been tampered with, and yet it could have been tampered with. It's actually bollocks. We've been lied to. We, the player, have been lied to. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. No, I think they actually could be suspicious. Why is the game trying to push me away from this? So this alibi is false? It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. I'm not really spotting anything unusual. I mean, I'm spotting a bunch of stuff. There are two possibilities. If the master mask in the photo is the fake or the photo itself is. Both of those could be true. But how do I present evidence to that fact? Because there's no statement about the camera for me to disprove it, right? He at no point is he saying the camera could not be falsified. But I don't have any way of. I need him to say that the photograph cannot be tampered with, and then we could say, actually, Adrian could tamper with it. I'm a little confused. Well, look, if we can't prove... Suppressing this makes us have to name the accomplice. What did pressing this one do? Adrian hired you. Yeah, but it's not part of his statement though, is it? So we can't like present his ace detective persona to say that this doesn't make sense, because it does make sense. In this case, one turned out to be my witness. The photograph turned out to be your witness. Everything that proves I committed the crime. So we've got to prove that the photograph is not the witness. Oh, wait, what's this? This is different. What? You can get different dialogue if you press again. Oh my fucking god. That's wild. Okay, well, there you go. It's gonna be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Well, yeah. Oh, because the box. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? But I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? Paint? Funny part is right here. Why this? This is a blood stain. Ah, blood. Now this case is getting interesting. And not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that. Bunch of peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Oh, so we're not even claiming that the box is the wrong box. We're claiming that the statue isn't covering the paint? I mean, that's dumb. The statue can be moved at any point. So that doesn't really tell us anything. But the paint is a fixed thing, right? The box has already been dropped in the paint. Ugh. Man, I hate it when there's little holes that can't really adequately explain. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Or the statue? The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then the statue should have been there. Objection! But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and the reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? No, I can't. Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? I don't fucking know. Why would someone move it? Although, again, the only thing I could come up with before is that they moved it so it's not there as a frame of reference for their height. But I don't know if I'm overthinking it. Because, like, we don't really get to see the height difference between any of these people, right? So we can't say for sure, like, you know, that maybe Luke Atmey's really tall and Agent's really short, because we just don't have that information. Why else would you move it? Who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? I mean, it could be Luke Atmey. Do we have any evidence to consider? I think it's walkthrough time. I'm not sure what the reason is. According to walkthrough, it's Atmey that moved the statue. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atmey. Come now, sir lawyer, there you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? That's a good joke. It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. This photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. What? Why? That is why you had to move the statue. Single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in the picture does this lie exist? I do not fucking know. What? Moving the statue? Why would you... What? Understand. No, I don't understand what it's trying to say about this fucking statue. This bit makes no fucking sense. This whole statue subplot is fucking bizarre. So the statue arrives, and on the night of the crime, Adrian moves it to cover up the blood stain. Well, the paint stain. Right? Is that what's happening? But if he took this in advance, then the statue wouldn't even be there. It wouldn't exist. It's not that he's moved it. It was never there. Because it arrived on the day, right? What? Hold on. The statue was housed in a basement warehouse alongside the sacred urn. It was temporarily moved by Adrian Andrews to cover up a bright paint stain on the warehouse floor. Okay. Let me return to the scene. What? Even the explanation doesn't fucking make sense. What? This doesn't make any fucking sense. I have no idea. Point at the timestamp. What? This is so weird. And actually, the lie in the photo is the timestamp. Well, yeah, I guess that much is obvious, but like, what? What do you mean? That's exactly what I mean. Good, I hope you will. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Sure. Therefore, it's obvious it fucking isn't. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. Okay. What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was his statue placed besides the warehouse door? Statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Yeah. Still don't get it. Exactly. Look at me, I'd already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. So in order to create an alibi for that time, took this picture days before the murder took place. Okay. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Okay. Still doesn't make any sense. So on the day of the crime, Miss Stratmy must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. What? And that is why Luke at me had to move the statue on the night of the murder. What? He needed to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. But we'll hold the fuck on. What? If he'd already set up his alibi, why was he even there on the night of the murder? Why even go there? Like, how would he even know the statue had been put there? This makes no fucking sense. This makes less sense than just having an accomplice. Why is this the fucking solution? Having an accomplice made so much more sense than faking the fucking photograph. So he takes the photo, and then for whatever reason, on the night of the robbery, he goes there, even though he's got no fucking reason to, and notices the statue covering the paint and moves it out the way. But then someone still has to steal the urn. What? How? And then some. But then what? I mean, if he was there anyway, oh my god. This is so weird. Thing is, he has to have an accomplice do all this for him, which has to be Adrian, right? If someone's faking the timestamp, it's gotta be her. And then she would have to steal the urn, yada yada yada. But like, why even go to all that trouble? Why not just have her wear the spare Master Mask outfit and take the photo? Like, it seems needlessly elaborate. And my brain has just melted trying to wrap my head around this fucking statue thing. It feels so pointless. Okay, fine. Let's carry on. Order! Mr. Admi, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? Exactly, the falsified report. There's so much shit that needs falsifying when they could have just dressed Adrian up in the outfit and took the picture. What's that? And the data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
Objection!
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lord Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. What? What? So now we're just accepting that he tampered with it. Oh, for fuck's sake. This went so far downhill. I'm so disappointed in how this has turned out. It's so bad. Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense is a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time? That the statue was moved in order to make it match? It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied. Which is that it's only a possibility. And that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No, no way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? There's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I first received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and zvati, it was then sent to the warehouse. Hence I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. Pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we'll find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there were no mistakes this time? Zvati. Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Ugh, there's so many flaws in this. First received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. Well, that's accurate. It was placed in a box. It was then sent to the warehouse. I mean, not exactly, because I mean, it depends what you mean by the warehouse. But okay, let's assume that's true for now. I was unable to see this urn for myself until the day of the crime. Till the day of the crime, maybe. Although I guess you could, I mean, depends if you mean the actual urn or not, because I suppose you could see it on the poster. I think it was an extremely valuable treasure. I mean, that's debatable. Hold it! No, I wanted to query about it being valuable. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because that knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Nope. Back. You knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, but it's fucking worthless. Oh, it doesn't say it's worthless anymore. Okay. And again, like, your fingerprints weren't on it. But if you were Master Mask, they would be. But I mean, we've already seen how that was like very badly handled last time. So I don't know if that's what we're looking for here. You're asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed, it seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation. See, Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. Wow. The urn was placed in a box. Ah, you mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Interesting new tidbit. So, we know this doesn't add up, but I don't know how to fucking prove it. I was unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. You're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. I mean, I believe it. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I, Luke Acme, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. And then we've already pressed on that. Then no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. And thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. And this is the photo that proves it, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Acme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. So we're working on the assumption that he stole it earlier than... I mean, that's... okay. I don't understand the relevancy of that, but sure. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. We need to take a good hard look at the court record. Took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. How do we do that? One thing that Acme stated very clearly, he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Because he said it was placed in a box? Very confused. Why can I not say, if you'd never seen the urn before, how do you know it was extremely valuable treasure? Okay. Back to the walkthrough. Because I do not fucking know. What? No. Really? I completely forgotten we could even read this card. Take good care of the speckled urn. And even then, like, kind of wild, but I mean,
Objection!
Mr. Acme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? Of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Acme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, the alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, I did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Ha! So sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. I didn't. It was not unanimous. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Acme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? Because of the blackmail. An excellent point. Okay, hold that thought. I need to get a drink. I'm gasping. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Oh, motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick is getting his second wind. You prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on one delight, as you say. He must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Well, there's two possibilities. Well, there's one possibility. I think it has to be that he was the one being blackmailed, not Ron. Because of the red diamond, right? So Kane knew he was the one, not Ron. He'd figured it out. Look at me. I had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. It was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. The handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. Well, that's fine. What? But it's not addressed to Ron, is it? Very well, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. Again, I know what to prove, I just don't know how to prove it. Did he, though? Mistook? That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error. Was what I meant. Just who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Well, the answer is obvious. So Ron Delight, of course. But I need a way to prove the diamond. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that? Zvade, take a look at this newspaper. Oh, that's the famous Tear of Emanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article, and Zvade, he got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask. Why? That makes no sense. I see. What? That was an unusually reasonable deduction. No, it wasn't. That's a stupid deduction that makes no fucking sense. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring 50,000. And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter. Finally. An addressee. This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's department. And Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant. I wonder. What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Diamond, but I don't know how to fucking prove it. Well, everyone, you're quite satisfied. I mean, can I just present the letter?
Objection!
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. You said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight. I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. He didn't say it was addressed to Ron Delight. He said it was sent to Ron Delight. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. It sounds like these men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. I thought you'd never fucking ask. How do I do it? How do I show you? Show us the contradicting in the content of the blackmail letter. How? Do I present it? Ha! Oops. A little... Oh, my fucking mouse accidentally hit the fucking button for the DPI. Hold on. A little 1-2 punch like that wouldn't even faze me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright. Try thinking things through with a little more before finding fault. What? What? Look, I know that's the thing we're meant to present. Right, let's try again. Present the letter. Shows the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. But I don't have a pointer or anything. How? How do I do it? I don't know how. Back to the walkthrough. How do I present the evidence? Present the newspaper clipping. Present the newspaper clipping. What? What's that got to do with anything? Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. Oh. Okay, I mean, we didn't need that to... What? Why can't we just show the words "the red diamond"? It's pretty obvious they're talking about his fucking ring. Like, instead, we're disproving that the guy's not talking about the blue jewel. That's kind of irrelevant, especially when it says "the other day," which is like the first heist was not the other day. It seems like a weirdly elaborate way of pointing to the fucking ring that we could have just pointed to the words "red diamond." I feel like it's unnecessary to prove that we're not talking about the jewel from the clipping, because there's nothing to even suggest it was the jewel from the clipping. I feel like it's just so obviously only could be his ring. Okay, whatever. Red. Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Emanon. Well, fucking obviously. There was nothing to indicate it was the tear of Emanon. No one said the tear of Emanon.
Objection!
And your point is, Mr. Try, exactly! We're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else. Not because of that, though. That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Try? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. Pretty much, yes. In a weird, roundabout way, yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Look at me. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. No shit. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Order in the court. Order, I say. Seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. Don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atme? Are you for real? Yes, I am. Hey, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world... Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity? Mask to mask. This guy a fucking idiot? What? Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity was Mask to Mask. Luke Atme was Mask to Mask. What? That's my line. What's that supposed to mean? That's my line too. Listen up, you. This is what you've been saying up to this point in time. The witness pretended to be Master Mask in order to pin the murder on the defendants. In which case, you'll want to insist up until and beyond the day you die that Ron Delight was in fact Master Mask. No. No. That's not what I'm saying! That's not what I'm saying! Oh, are you kidding me? He is Master Mask. But so is Ron. They both are. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, where were we? Blackmail letter.
Objection!
And then the newspaper clipping.
Objection! Take that! Objection!
Okay, save in place. Blackmailer? But who is he blackmailing? What? Look at me was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? It is. You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. You're saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? I have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Is it? Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. Ron Delight was also being blackmailed. No. No? He wasn't being blackmailed, he was being given plans. Right? I don't remember him saying he was being blackmailed. Oh, wait, he did say he was getting blackmail letters. I guess, okay. But this makes, I mean, so now, right. So long after Ron left that company, we're saying that Kane Bullard somehow found out that Luke Atme is blackmailing Ron. God knows how. That is fucking wild. I could believe he could figure out that Atme was Master Mask, but like figuring out that Atme is blackmailing Ron makes no fucking sense. And then he decides to get a piece of that on top. Man, this got so fucking weird so quick. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the TFM run heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. And they're not really, it's not really blackmail, is it? They were just giving you plans. Detailed plans. In which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. Okay, sure. Shh, silence. Now I see it. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. And careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You said that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Yes? Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onwards, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point, you certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. Where is this going? In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? Well, he found the uniform. And I guess we have to suggest the newspaper clipping? Take that! I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. There's a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Tell me about it. Correct, with tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight. None of that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. Can't believe it, he was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... Oops. Oop. Wow. It's just powering through it. He's gone crazy. It's enough to make one laugh. It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't a Lord Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull. But... there's still one thing you've yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way. Order! Well, Mr. Wright. This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. God. I mean, again, like, there's stuff that points to it, but which bit do they want? I think. Does the buzzer prove it? Because of the lack of fingerprints? Hmm. The evidence that proves that points to him being there is the fact that the buzzer was pressed and there's no fingerprints on it, and he wears gloves, and the other two people there don't. The other bit is that Ron said he was struck by a quick and powerful blow, which is exactly how Atme described Master Mask's combat skills. There's also the brooch that was pulled off of Ron's clothes. Which I guess he pulled off of Ron's costume at that place and then went to the murder scene, the theft scene. I suppose which order did he go to those in? Because don't forget, he had to have gone to the scene of the theft to move the fucking statue as well. So he was at both places. It's just a matter of which one he went to first. But that would explain how the brooch got there, right? Because otherwise, why would the brooch be at the theft scene? Right? It's got to be the brooch. It's got to be the brooch, right? The defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? Ha! Don't you worry, I'll watch over you as you break down and fall to pieces. Very well, then let's see this proof. I mean, logically, it has to be the brooch. Take that! This is the proof. It's true, that is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think, what? How is that not? We've just established that the picture at the theft was not taken on the night. So how did the fucking brooch get there unless this douchebag was at the murder office first, ripped it off of Ron's fucking clothes, and then went to the theft site? Okay. We'll just have to present all the bits of evidence until we find the one the devs wanted us to pick. Because I think that brooch is the best proof. So what else can we use to prove it? Is that the right one? Yeah. Okay, what other evidence do we have? So not the brooch. The buzzer. Not the buzzer. Okay. Fuck me. How many bits of proof do we need? So not the brooch, not the buzzer. I have no idea. Those were the two best bits of evidence. What are we supposed to... However, you can't prove it right now. What? We're supposed to say we can't prove it. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Take that!
We're supposed to say we can't prove it. Even though I fucking can. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear some more of Detective Atney's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atney is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. Face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No. Well, now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective, as well as Master Mask. My verdicts will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order! That's enough deliberation over this witness. Can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... But then it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? The defendant be tried and found innocent in court. The defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atney will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask. Which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned. No way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atney's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atney, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Yeah, I'd like more fucking testimony. Stop fucking about. I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atney. Can we call another witness, maybe? We could still find him guilty. Now that was a woman's voice. Could it be Adrian? I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you? Phoenix, raise your head up high. You've forgotten what I used to tell you? Wait, what? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. What is going on? Oh, for fuck's sake, has she channeled Mia? Oh, for God's sake. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia. This is the true power of the Crane channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. My testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Something the matter, Mr. Godot? Ah, nothing. Oh, Sir Laura, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. Defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer. So please give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. But you were, just not at 1 AM, because you've already said you moved the fucking statue. The whole point of this statue bullshittery is to place you at the scene on that evening. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavada. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. It does not. It literally does not point to him, it points to you. His testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. No, it doesn't. The witness's early remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to are you for real? But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. You're going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a second, just one chance? It seems the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony, except for fucking all of it. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. Can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. Better fucking save then, hadn't I? Because we're gonna get this wrong a few times. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Because all I can do is find a contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. I'll deduct my way through it in the first go. I would if it made any fucking sense half the time, but this final part has made no goddamn sense. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Okay, which statement is false? Apart from obviously all of them. Well, that's false and we know it. That also contradicts it. If you weren't there, then you didn't have to leave. I don't know about the date beforehand, so I had the photograph readied. That's fine, I think. The deduction was what informed me. Okay, maybe. How did you know about the key card and wallet? Also wrong. It could have been the third party who was potentially there. How did you know Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit? That's just stupid. All the evidence points to that poor boy. Clearly wrong. Fuck me. Okay, so if we assume his bullshit reason about the buzzer also covers the keycard and wallet and the Master Mask outfit, then we can skip through all that. That's true. It's got to be one of these. You were at Lordy Taylor because you moved the statue. Right? We wasted so much time fucking confirming that he moved the statue.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. So it's not that, even though it clearly is. It clearly is that. It's clearly a contradiction. Okay. So we're not accepting the fact that we can prove he was at Lordy Taylor as the contradiction. Had to see about another vitally important job request. I mean, we'll just do them all one by one at this point. Is it that one?
Objection!
Nope, not that one. I mean, it has to be one of them. Can't be that one, because we know about that. And that is just nothing. Could it be the key card and wallet?
Hold it! Objection!
Because again, like, the key card and wallet proves as well, because how do you know about that? Because that information did not come from the police, because the security guard found the key card and wallet and returned it directly to Ron's wife. So there is no way you could know about that. And yet it's not a contradiction. Okay. So, our evidence is not that we can prove that you were at Lordly Taylor when you say you weren't. And our evidence is not that you know about the keycard and wallet that you can't possibly know about because you were not told they were there. The buzzer we already ruled out on the same basis. And I guess that covers why it didn't have fingerprints on. I guess it's how did you know Ron was wearing his Master Mask outfit? Which, you know, is the same reasoning as the wallet, is the fact that this is information you shouldn't know. And again, wouldn't have been in the police report. Because just like the wallet and the key card, they were not found by the police. Right? So this also should be viable. And it's not. Are you kidding? Oh wait, this one was the right one? It started out in the same way as the wrong ones. What? So that means it seems you finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. But the same is true of the wallet and key card. That is also a few hours ago. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. You understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. Or the wallet, or the key card. You in the next courtroom, being tried as Master Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about this piece of information?
Objection.
Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
Objection.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Objection.
Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atney.
Objection!
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Detective Atney, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. You're telling me. Holy shit. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atney, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atney tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. He used the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we've finally found the truth. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me. Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask. Huh? Thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then Master Mask is really innocent. It would seem so. For now. For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, it isn't so good after all. See, the thing is, I am Master Mask after all. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming master of the Crane channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Ah, Mia. Ah, Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened. Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security. Becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have had any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Mask to Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. Broken Bolt can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? Kind of wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bolt is broken, there is always a way to put it back together.
Take that!
Sacred urn. Guess he was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you, I appreciate that. But, suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? No, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. See, my Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Jesse. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yeah? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. I can't believe she wasn't the bad guy. I'm so mad that she wasn't the bad guy. I feel like they purposely seeded that breadcrumb trail and chose the worst of the two outcomes. Oh well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you, with another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya? I'll never forgive you, never ever! So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together, but I know that's not true. Let me just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. I was not quick enough to get a screenshot. Damn it. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout, the end. And I feel like that is a pretty good spot to finish up our Phoenix Wright for the day. Let me see if Pell is awake. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna head off for a little bit. Why not? We'll come back to Phoenix Wright sometime next week. Saturday, all going well, but there's always a chance we'll get to it on a weekday as well. In fact, I think Urko's not around Monday or Tuesday, so we might be playing it Monday or Tuesday night. So that's when we'll get back to that. I'll be back at 6 o'clock for multiplayer stuff with the boys. And tomorrow we'll be playing and hopefully finishing Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. So look forward to me beating my head against that combat encounter for the first hour or two. Right, that's it. I will see you later on. Goodbye.